Well, welcome back. It is now our dwarf fighter's turn, our dwarven fighter. Let's take a look and see how wounded the enemies are. They're about the same. You can see the gray wolf number 2 is at 18 hit points and goblin 1 is at 19 hit points. Our fighter, let's take a look and see what kind of damage he can do. If he did full damage, he could take out or be close to taking out one of them. I wonder if we ought to do... He's still in the Battle Fury stance, which is going to give him +2 damage. He's got an encounter power, so we might as well, I guess, use it. It's called Power Strike. And when he hits with a melee weapon, he can do an extra 1d12 damage. Let's see. Why don't we have the fighter sort of maneuver himself here with 1 and 2, and then let's strike at the wolf. Let's go ahead and do this with our melee basic attack. This is going to be at +8. Ooh, look at that, a natural 20 on the die roll. Alright, let's take a look and see at the how the wolf is doing. The wolf is at 18 hit points. When you roll a natural 20, your damage is at maximum. In fact, let me find that in the rule book just so I won't make any mistakes here. Here we go. The section we're looking for is called a critical hit. When an attacker makes an attack and rolls a 20 on the d20, the attack not only automatically hits, but it also might be a critical hit. The attack is a critical hit if the result of the attack roll, after all modifiers are applied, is high enough to hit the target's defense. It deals maximum damage. For example, 1d8 plus 4 is going to do 12 damage. If the attack normally deals no damage, it doesn't deal any damage on a critical. I think this is important. If a character scores a critical hit with a magic weapon or implement, the item causes the attack to deal the specific amount of extra damage. If the extra damage involves a die roll, the extra damage is not automatically maximized. For example, a character scores a critical hit with a magic weapon that deals 1d8 extra damage on a critical hit. That player rolls a d8 and adds the result. That's one thing that's different. He's got a +1 axe, and that's going to do some extra damage, but the damage from the axe itself is maximized. So most magical items, when you make the attack roll, for each +1 that they grant, for example, he has a +1 defensive great axe, I believe that would add +1d6 to critical hit damage. I hope this is not getting too confusing. The damage for hitting the wolf is maximized. So it's 12 plus 6 is 18, and he's still in the Battle Fury stance. So that's 20 damage. Yep, I think that's right. Let's see, 12, that's 18, 19, 20. 20 damage to the wolf. Now, because of the magic weapon, we would actually roll an additional 1d6, and we rolled a 3, so we did 23 damage with that critical hit. And the great thing about that is going to kill the gray wolf. So we will kill the monster. That's going to leave our goblin cutthroat by himself. And I think what I'm going to do is have our fighter spend his action point and attack this goblin now with another attack roll. So he's going to attack again. So he hacks, I guess decapitates this wolf, and then spins around with his great axe and swings at the goblin. And we rolled an 11 there. So, is that good enough to hit the goblin's armor class? I should have it on my assistant application here. Goblin's armor class is 15, so yes, that's good enough to hit. Now we can do the damage. Once again, 1d12 plus 6. Here's our d12. We're going to add, so we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 damage, because we added an additional 2 for being in the Battle Fury stance. So 15 damage. Let me quickly go to the Combat Assistant and enter that in to the Goblin here. That was 15 damage. And I'm going to activate my encounter power for my dwarf. And let's take a look at that. The encounter power is Power Strike. It's a free action. And it triggers when you hit, and you do an extra 1d12. So that goblin is down to its last 4 hit points. All I need to do is roll a 4 or higher. And we rolled an 11. So that goblin is killed as well. Well, that is going to leave our heroes. And now that the encounter, let's kill this monster, comes to an end, we have our 4 heroes left. We can remove the status effect here, left by the War Priest. Our heroes are all standing around, and this one is now finished. As the encounter ends, that zone is now, the magic dies down. We take a look and see what kind of damage our heroes have suffered. Ander is down a bit. Lucan's only down 1 point. Corzon is not touched. Harbeck is slightly wounded. So we may want to, during this downtime, spend some healing surges. When you spend a healing surge, actually look at that. Lucan spent one, so I need to change that number for him. And I'm going to have to look on this assistant and see exactly how that will work. So I'll play around with that. But during the downtime after an encounter, characters can heal. And I believe it is correct that the cleric here, the War Priest, can help with some healing power. And as healing surges are spent, he can add an additional 1d6. When you're in battle, you're only allowed to normally, by yourself, spend 1 healing surge for your second wind. And I think that's a move action. The dwarf has a special ability to do that as a free action, or a minor action. I can't remember which it was. But you need to have your healer. and they will help you spend additional surges so that you don't have to use your own personal second wind, and they will also boost the amount of your healing surges as well. And let's see, we've got some different roles that I might briefly mention here. Our thief is basically a striker. That means he's out to do damage. Many wizards and wizard type write-ups are used for controlling the battlefield. You saw how he could set a zone and fire, or he could push and slide enemies about. They're also usually pretty good at taking out minions with that magic missile. Just minions have 1 hit point, so those are just automatic kills without even needing to roll to hit. Your fighters are typically your defenders, and but this particular kind of fighter is a slayer, and he might fall under a different category. He might also be a striker. I'll need to look that up again. And clerics or priests are generally leaders for the group, and they usually can provide healing and other support for their team. So just in general, without going into all the specifics of these individual classes, those are the general roles: strikers and defenders and controllers and leaders. And so you sort of play your characters, and the mechanics sort of support those roles in the game. So it's good to have a balanced party if you can put one together. But there we go. This encounter is finished. And let's take a look and see. We can see the approximate experience points. That would be 100 experience points for each goblin that was defeated, and 125 experience points for each of the gray wolves. You would total that experience points, make a total of that, and then divide by 4 and distribute those XP just like that. Well, I hope this has given you some additional insight into how the 4th edition role-playing game battle rules will play. And I'm going to look some things over here in the rule book and decide what is next. There's evidently another entire adventure here that can be played out, and that's going to move into a whole another set of encounters. So maybe we'll do that. Anyway, I would love to hear your feedback and any additional comments or correcting anything I did wrong. That's always much appreciated. Thanks so much, and I will catch you again for some more D&D action soon.